Sorry for the recent slowdown in reviews, guys. I'm currently on holiday in Thailand, but couldn't resist bringing a new drone to test out whilst I'm here. This is the SunlyTech Cam 4K. Part 1, where we'll be unboxing, inspecting and installing the app for this new drone. Be sure to click that subscribe button so that you don't miss part 2 and also part 3. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoy it and comment below with your thoughts. I'm off for a swim. Enjoy part 1. Now this should be quite an interesting one. I've been wanting to review this drone for quite some time and they very kindly just sent me one. This is the SunlyTech Cam and it's a 4K drone that uses the Snapdragon platform, the same platform as Dobby and also Lily Next Generation. So this has real potential, and I did see a few early reviews of it, but I'm not sure if they were final models, but this is definitely the final model. You can see it's packaged beautifully actually. So let's have a look inside. So it comes wrapped in cellophane, which I've just removed, but I must say the packaging is a really high quality. And look at that, inside we get a really smart carry case. That's lovely. That's a hard case as well, made of plastic. Feels lightweight, but well made. And we've got the word Sunly written into it, and that's the name of the manufacturer. So very nice there. We'll just have a look at what else is in the box, and then we'll have a look inside here. So also we get a power cable. And we've got basically, it's a USB charger. It looks like a regular mobile phone. Now that's obviously not an English power plug, but no issue. This has come from China. And we've got there a converter from USB to the plug that the batteries require. So you could basically use any mobile phone charger for this. And I must correct myself here, this drone requires a 9-volt USB power source for charging. Normal USB output from most devices is only 5 volts. Therefore, you can only use the supplied charger. Fast chargers such as those used by Samsung won't work either because they won't switch to the 9-volt mode automatically. More about this later. You also get some spare props. Just 4, so 4 spare props, but not an issue. You shouldn't really be crashing drones like this because after all they are autonomous, and so you shouldn't really be smashing it into a tree. But well, we'll see. In the base of the box you also get what looks to be an instruction manual, yep, and a quick start guide as well. So that's what we get in terms of accessories. Now let's have a look inside here. This is the bit I'm quite excited about. So inside this nice secure carry case is the drone. Now it's funny, I look at pictures of drones and you always kind of have an idea of how big or small they might be. And this one has surprised me. I thought it was much smaller, but you can see it's just bigger than the palm of my hand. And it does remind me of a Naga fly actually. But drones all look the same these days. It could also be a mini Phantom. But yeah, so that's the drone. We'll have a look at that in detail in a second. We also get, which is really nice, 2 batteries, not 1 but 2. Now this drone boasts a flight time of 20 minutes. So in theory that's 20 minutes per battery. You can see the little charging ports on the ends of the batteries there. These batteries are 2 cell and they are 2000 milliamps. So quite a lot of capacity there for a small drone. Quite a bit of weight as well. So the little drone must have pretty powerful motors fitted to it. We also get a set of prop guards, which is nice if you are flying this drone indoors or if you're new to drones, probably advisable to fit those. But overall, very neatly packaged, loads of lovely accessories. And yeah, so let's have a look at the drone in more detail. So here is the SunlyTech Cam. The all-up weight of it is 225 grams, so it is under that magical 250, which they're about to reintroduce the drone registration in America and also other countries. So that's going to be good news for those guys. It retails as low as £250. Now, bearing in mind that that's about the same price as Dobby. Both have the Qualcomm Snapdragon flight controller board and a similar specification, but the flight time on this, if it's genuinely 20 minutes, then this could be better than Dobby. We will see. However, of course, this doesn't fold. We've got a lovely plastic finish here, rounded and smoothed and shiny. No folding arms here, but a really compact design nonetheless anyway. Looking at the top, there's not really a lot to say. There's nothing here, but obviously all the GPS, GLONASS, and also AGPS chips are under here, and this, of course, is where they're they're going to be emitting their signal from upwards to the sky. AGPS is a kind of similar technology that mobile phones use when they don't have an actual GPS chip. Looking at the front, we've got our camera. The camera is a 4K camera, but I suspect, a bit like Dobby, it's only going to capture 4K when you don't have EIS enabled, electronic image stabilization. There's no mechanical gimbal here, so we'll soon find out, but I would imagine the output's going to be 1080p with EIS enabled. Now, this camera doesn't tilt up and down, which is a real shame. Unfortunately, aimed at the selfie market, they don't assume that you're going to need a tilt, but it's a real shame. It would be nice, and it would have really topped off the features on this drone if it had a tiltable one-axis gimbal on there as a minimum. Just above that camera is also a power button. Press that, and that turns the drone on once you've got the battery installed. Looking at the rear, this is where the battery slots in. So actually, let's just fit that in there now. Slide that in and it clicks, and it's very similar actually to the Phantom battery design, where you've got the click button on there and also on the bottom. You just squeeze the two and the battery pulls back out. So very easy to insert and to remove. Then looking at the motors, so we've got some tiny little brushless motors here. As mentioned, there's quite a bit of weight here. I think it's definitely heavier than Dobby, and so these motors must be fairly powerful. The props are screw-on and they are counterclockwise and anti-clockwise threaded accordingly. So yeah, that's nice as well, that they're not just going to easily fly off. The thing I hate about the props on Dobby is that they're very much proprietary. These look quite generic, so that's good to see. Looking at the underside now, we've got some tiny little rubberized landing feet, which is good because when it's on the ground and the props are firing up, it's not necessarily going to slide and bounce around a smooth floor, so that's nice. We've then got lots of venting on the arms and on the underside as well, probably to avoid overheating, because these do get very warm, these tiny little compact drones. And then we've got this lovely array of sensors here. So looking at the sensors underneath, it looks like we've got an infrared, and I did read in the specification that it's got infrared sensing, probably for altitude, I would imagine. It's also got an optical flow camera. Interestingly, no ultrasonic sensor. I would imagine that's why there's an IR sensor instead. We prefer ultrasonics, it's generally more accurate, but it's I guess they've done that to save money, but we'll soon find out in the flight test. So anyway, that's the drone in general. It's not particularly lightweight, it's not folding, but it's got a great specification. It's very well made, feels very nicely manufactured, and it's now all down to the flight test. So let's set it up with the app and see how it performs. So first, let's get the app installed. I'll be using the Android platform as usual, and I'm going to fire up the App Store and search for Sunly, and you'll get a result called Airfly, which appears to be the new name of their app. Only 100 downloads so far is quite a surprise, and a low score isn't a good sign, but this app seems to have replaced the old app, and so we'll give it a chance. The app was last updated in January this year, which is fairly positive to see, and the app is therefore still being improved by SunlyTech, which is also a great sign. We'll get it installed by clicking the install button, accept the rather large list of permission requirements, and it will then start downloading. After a short wait, it'll finish and be ready to launch. We'll now just have a quick look at the app tour. Launching the app firstly shows us a rather long privacy policy, which you can just skip by pressing confirm, after you've read it, of course. It then presents you with a pretty comprehensive set of safety tips, and they're all actually quite good. New pilots should definitely have a read and be sure to take account of them all, especially as this is a Wi-Fi controlled drone with the occasional limited range that comes with that. Next, we're shown a sample interface with a really clear and well illustrated guide on what each of the icons do. It also makes clear that you can manually switch between optical and GPS mode. Essentially, this is a toggle between indoor and outdoor mode, as we'll see in the flight test. So that's the unboxing and inspection, app installed and set up. We're all ready for the flight test, which is in part 2, so click subscribe now so that you don't miss out. Links to this product are in the video description, and you support our channel by clicking on them. Comment below with your thoughts, I love your feedback, and thank you very much for watching.